Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is yet another Eurovision 2025 related video here on my channel, and another reaction type video as well, because right now I'm about to listen in full for the first time to the Swiss entry for the upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which as we all know will take place in 2 months' time in Basel, Switzerland. As always, you're very welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So we've known about the Swiss representative for a couple of days now. It is Zoë Më, or Zoë Më. Real name, Zoe Alina Kressler, born in October 2000, so she's 24 years of age. She is from Basel. She has lived in Germany, and she's been writing her own music since the age of 10. She's won a couple of awards. She's performed at prestigious events. She's been a guest artist on a few tours as well, and she's released a whole bunch of singles, 2 EPs, and now of course she is representing Switzerland in Switzerland this May. The song title, which we only found out a short time ago, is Voyage or Voyage. The music video is on the official Eurovision Song Contest YouTube channel. I'm going to be watching it in just a moment. It's just over 3 minutes long, and at the time of this recording you're watching now, it has had just under 48,000 views. So Switzerland won and were the hosts of the very first Eurovision back in 1956 in Lugano. Refrain by Liz Assia, that was the winning track and performer. Now, if I remember correctly, the Luxembourg jury didn't vote for some reason, so Switzerland voted on Luxembourg's behalf, and it just so happened Switzerland won. Don't quote me on that, I'm pretty sure something like that happened. A little bit dodgy, but we move on. Anyway, it would be a very long time until Switzerland got their second win. This was in 1988 with Celine Dion, of course, who is now one of the most legendary musicians alive. But back then she was relatively unknown in Europe. Ne partez pas sans moi was the title of her winning track. It was in French, and she won by 1 point ahead of the UK in Dublin, 137 points. If we take a look at Switzerland's form specifically over the past decade, it's been a bit up and down. It didn't start great, but it has definitely improved. In 2015, it was Melanie René with Time to Shine. She finished last in the second semi-final in Vienna with 4 points. Don't really have much to say about this particular song. I suppose it's fairly powerful, and it was performed relatively well. But I remember being very disappointed in Switzerland that year because Time Bell were in the Swiss national final and absolutely should have won it by a mile, in my opinion. They didn't. Melanie René went to Eurovision and didn't qualify at all. Last in the second semi-final, as I just said. A year later, it was Rika or Rika with The Last of Our Kind, and she finished last in the second semi-final in Stockholm with 28 points. This was an okay song, and it was an okay performance. All I really remember about it, because I haven't watched it much over the years, is that it looked as though her backside was on fire because of all the smoke. In 2017, we had Time Bell eventually going to Eurovision with the song Apollo, and this finished 12th in the second semi-final in Kyiv with 97 points. A really nice song. The studio version is perfectly fine. Live, I don't think it came across amazingly. It was a very bright looking performance, and I know that might sound a bit strange, but I think they needed to tone it down a little bit. They went for a sort of Disney princess fairy tale look to proceedings, and I don't think it really worked. Very unlucky not to qualify though. Safe to say Switzerland were in a terrible run of form, and it didn't improve. In Lisbon in 2018 we had Zibs with Stones, and they were in the first semi-final, widely regarded as the toughest semi-final we've maybe ever had at Eurovision, finishing 13th with 86 points. Again, very unlucky not to qualify. This was a song with a bit of grit to it, really fantastic. I have watched the performance many times, really good stuff, pretty catchy as well, I would say, this song. The lead singer, Corinne, I believe her name is, looking absolutely fabulous. Yeah, a really lovely track, but still an NQ. And then things changed. I don't know what happened. Maybe a different team took over to do with Eurovision in Switzerland. But this was a turning point for the country at Eurovision, because in Tel Aviv we had Luca Hänni with She Got Me, and he finished 4th with 364 points. Really impressive. Lots of red lighting, dancers, choreo, bit of pyro towards the end. A really catchy pop song. So much slicker and engaging in comparison to some of the previous Swiss entries that I've already mentioned, in all honesty. Really fantastic stuff. And then in 2020 and 2021, something very different. We had John's Tears. He's fantastic. I can see him being part of this year's Eurovision. What a brilliant vocalist. Répondez-moi was really sublime. A really, really fantastic slice of music right there. And I'm not sure that would have challenged for the win had the contest gone ahead that year in Rotterdam. But it would have had a lot of love, especially in the jury vote. In 2021, Tout l'Univers was arguably even stronger. He was in this black outfit, the moving blocks on stage, the flashing lights, that huge note towards the end, some interesting moves. Really wonderful. Third place, 432 points, winning its semi-final, winning the jury vote in the final, and doing all right with the public as well. Switzerland definitely had turned a corner. In 2022, we had Marius Bear with Boys Do Cry. This was another very gentle effort, very little to the staging whatsoever. He was very casually dressed, it looked very beautiful, and it's a beautiful song, but this wasn't really getting a lot of love, a lot of hype, that sort of thing. He finished 17th, 78 points. If I remember correctly, this received a big fat 0 from the public in the final, which is very harsh, but I sort of understand why it happened. But you have to say, still not a huge disappointment because Switzerland qualified for another final. And remember, they spent years, over a decade or so, in the wilderness. In 2023 we had Watergun by Remo Forra, 20th place in the final in Liverpool, 92 points. He was on early in the running order. Little bit of pyro to this performance as well. He was in a black outfit and he performed it well, sang quite well. Don't really have anything bad to say about this whatsoever. Yes, the result isn't brilliant, but it was another qualification for the final. And then last year we had Nemo with The Code, and this to me was just ticking so many of the right boxes, it was unbelievable. Vocally fantastic, it was a very engaging performance, there wasn't too much to it, it wasn't really messy or cluttered, there was just enough to keep the viewer invested. It was just so impressive really from start to finish, every single time, blending all of these different styles. Really different from anything else last year. A very worthy winner. 591 points. Now, host nation entries can really struggle, but I have a feeling this is going to be another quality entry from Switzerland. It's the first time they've been represented by a solo female act in 9 years, and it is in French, so it is Voyage. Here we go then. Let me know what you think about this track by leaving comments, of course. What I'm watching won't be in the bottom corner of the video you're watching now. That's the way it usually is, but chances are you'll have seen and heard this by now anyway. There's only a few more songs to go this year. We really are getting to the latter part of the internal selection season. Here we go. Switzerland, flying under the radar for a long time. Let's see if this is any good. It's a ballad starting off very simply at the traffic lights. Sounds very lovely, this. Flowers are more beautiful when you water them. Okay, time has stopped around her by the looks of it. This is really lovely. I'm nearly a minute in. I do already think a lot of people might find this fairly boring for whatever reason. But I'm really loving the simplicity of it. I think this is, I hate to use this word because I use it a lot, but I think this is very refreshing. I really do. In an ocean of very expressive, lively numbers this year, this is a real palate cleanser. It's really beautiful, this. Really beautiful. Very, very gentle. some strings, this plucking sound in the background. I'm interested to see how this is going to be staged. There's really not much to say about it. Not much is going on. It's really beautiful. It's a lovely melody. I hope people haven't ranked this low down. I really hope not. Juries will like this. Oh, a little bit more dramatic now. Everybody's running about. It's very cinematic. And now it goes a little bit more gentle again. Is she looking at her younger self across the street? Voyage. Dear me, dear me. I'm not fluent in French, but that was really sort of doing something to me there, I'm not going to lie. Goodness me, I really, really liked that. Just loved how tender it came across. What a beautiful, beautiful track. What a beautiful piece of music. That's so welcome in this year's lineup. It really, really is. And I'm telling you now, I will be furious if people are ranking that one, 30-something in their tops. Let's take a look at some of the comments. I can see juries eating this alive, maybe a dark horse in people's vote as well. Beautiful. Gosh, this is so tender and healing for my tired soul. That might be the most majestic key change I've ever heard. I barely even noticed it, to be honest. I was just going along with the ride. This is why the orchestra should return. Pure magic. The bridge, so good. Winner potential. I don't know about that, but this should absolutely be doing all right for itself. If this finishes near the bottom, fists will be flying. This is just very cute. What a delicate, that's the right word to use. What a delicate and moving song. It really did. It was quite moving. It really was quite moving. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I believe she's written it herself. Oh, that's my stomach, excuse me. Ah, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm just going to take a look here at where people have ranked this song. So I'm going to take a look at ESC Hayden's video, bear with me. I'm also going to take a look at ESC Rolly's video, because why not? I would say most people probably have this ranked, I don't know, maybe about 17 or 18. Let's take a look. Hopefully not too low down. It really is a highly refreshing track. Here we go. I'm just looking through ESC Rolly's video. Bear with me. Number 16. Okay. Sort of as I expected. ESC Hayden, where have you ranked it? Okay. It's looking good. 22, 20, 19... 18, 17, 16, 15. We have got the Ukrainian revamp, by the way, and Montenegro's revamp. Iceland, Spain, Switzerland at number 9. That's a bit more like it. That's very nice to see. Lovely. Yeah, that's a really lovely 3 minutes that I've just listened to right there. I expected it to be something really simplistic, and that's exactly what we got, but it's very touching, very delicate, really quite moving, I would say. And I wish Zoe the very best of luck. I think it's a really, really fine effort indeed. Let me know what you think about Switzerland's entry on home soil for this year's Eurovision, and I'll be back with more Eurovision-related content fairly soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye for now.